Hello, my name is Visgluigers and welcome to another video about Borderlands The Pre-Sequel, and today we will be looking at the Claptrap's first skill tree, which is going to be the Boomtrap. It's going to be very interesting. I've made a quick look through it, and it's very close-up brawl type of tree. It's not tank tree, but you know, the close-up brawl, I think that's the thing that really describes it the best. And you probably at this point have already checked what the Claptrap's action skill is. If you haven't, it basically has, when you launch it, it has a number of different factors, and it will choose, depending on your current situation, on what action skill does he actually use. There's a number of different action skills, and some of them are really good, some of them are okay, and some of them are pretty bad. And it can leave you to very vulnerable situations. But enough of the action skill, let's go into the skill tree. So at first we have drop the hammer and kill bot. So the drop the hammer, reloading your weapon increases your fire rate and reload speed, but makes your accuracy worse for a few seconds. Fire rate from 5 to 25%, reload speed also 5 to 25, accuracy penalty 2 to 10%. Now this is very interesting, and it starts all the way from the first skills to give you that brawling feeling, because you're gonna have these aiming penalties, but at the same time you have 25% fire rate and reload speed, which is very healthy amount. It is only when you reload for a couple of seconds, but I bet if you have a weapon that has a very small magazine and high powered bullets, it can be really good. For instance, Jacob's weapons will work very well, and in the Torgue weapons like Torgue pistols or shotguns will work very well. The next skill is Killbot. Killing enemy restores health but costs shields. If your shields are not currently up, then free health. The lower your health, the greater the amount of health restored. Health restored up to 7 to 35% of max health. Shield cost up to 2 to 10% of max shields. So this is very interesting, and it really allows you to make that brawl. Now, you'd first think that every single time you kill an enemy, it's going to shave off 10% of your shields, but it's going to give you a lot of health back. We don't know how much, if you like have half of your health remaining, that how much are you going to get health? Is it going to be like 20% or nearing the 30%? We don't know, but even if it would be like 10-15%, it's pretty good, because even though it takes the full, I guess the full 10% of your shields, you can have a shield that maybe bolsters your health pool, or otherwise just have a really fast recharge and small recharge delay. So you don't need to go with high capacity shields with this one, and you probably shouldn't. Now, while you're constantly gaining a lot more health, and you anyways want to be right the first to fight because of your rate of fire and reload bonus, you need to be close. So this is going to be very neat start for this brawling tree. Next we have coincidental combustion and repulsive coincidental combustion. Whenever you shoot an enemy with a non-explosive weapon, you have a chance to deal bonus explosive damage based on your weapon's damage. Explosive chance 7 to 35%. Now, it's quite annoying that you can't have any benefits with this skill if you're using the Torg weaponry, but for instance the Jacob's weapons become really good. However, the Jacob's weapons have no benefit from the rate of fire bonus from the previous skill, but 35% chance to deal explosive damage is pretty darn good. So maybe if you are shy of the accuracy penalty, you can go with the killbot and then coincidental combustion, but I probably take some of the skills to drop the hammer in the very beginning because it is pretty powerful. Some SMGs would be really good with this one, since you're going to be so close anyways. But moving on to repulsive. When struck by a melee attack, you emit powerful blast wave that pushes that enemy away and deals explosive damage. Shockwave momentum 300 to 500. Repulsive cooldown 5 seconds. But there's no info on what is this shockwave momentum, but there's just no info. We have to speculate, but I'm quite sure it's like 3 to 5 meters around you, and the cooldown is only 5 seconds, so it's pretty good. And since you are going to be brawling in the front, you are going to take some hits, and those psychos and whatever, they're going to strike you with melee. So you then emit this blast nova, whatever, and there's no info on how powerful it is. Probably not that powerful. I think this skill is more like, that it pushes them away from you, but still a nova is always a nova, so it's going to be pretty good. And you're gonna want to put at least 1 point in this one, since the cooldown of this skill is, regardless how many points you put, it's going to be 5 seconds. So having that maybe 3 meter explosive nova whenever you get struck by a melee is pretty damn good, in my opinion. Then we have Second Wind by TDR, and it would seem like that I have derped here a bit. It's only 1 out of 1 skill, even though it says here 1 out of 5, but you can only put 1 point in this. So when you enter Fight for Your Life, throw a deconstructed copy of yourself which explodes like a grenade, and you constantly emit explosive novas. So this is like one of these that if you are brawling in the front and you die, in there, enemies everywhere, and you just continue emitting explosive novas, is going to be extremely good. Because why the hell you wouldn't want to have an explosive nova around you when you're in Fight for Your Life? And it also throws a grenade, or with quotes, grenade, a copy of yourself. But it's a grenade in all the terms and purposes. It's a grenade, so it can give you a really high chance of instantly reviving yourself when forced on Fight for Your Life, which is pretty damn good. Moving on, we have Load and Explode, I am rubber, you are glue. and start with a bang. So load and explode. Whenever you reload your gun, gain increased explosive damage. This bonus can stack up to 5 times, and each stack only lasts a few seconds. Explosive damage from 4 to 20 per stack. So if you combine this with the first skill, that you're constantly going to be reloading anyways, it can really help you create these stacks. And if every stack gives you 20% explosive damage, so if you're using Torgue weaponry, this is a really nice skill to have. But I don't know how easy it is to maintain these stacks, since they only last for a couple of seconds. But I'd still go with it, even though if you have like even one stack, having 20% damage boost is pretty good. And if you are using, let's say, Jacob's guns, you're anyways going to get this bonus if you have the skill that adds non-explosive weapons chance to explode. So you'll have, actually Jacob's guns would be really good, since they have very high damage and they get a very high bonus damage, and this even more buffs the bonus damage. The only downside is that you don't gain any benefit from the red fire bonus, which sucks. Actually, having a SMG would be really beneficial, since they shoot so fast that you're going to deal these explosive chance rounds every now and then, and they reload usually reasonably fast. So next, I am rubber, you are glue, and this is 1 out of 1 skill. Kill skill. Whenever you kill an enemy, bullets have a chance to reflect off you and towards enemies for a short time. Also unlocks action package Torgue Fiesta. Bullet ricochet chance 25%. Torgue Fiesta. Whoops. Drop a large amount of grenades that damage enemies and friends. So it's a kill skill, but it's a 1 out of 1, so I would go with it, because 25% chance to ricochet bullets is... it can save your ass. Let's just put it that way. It can save your ass, and it's a really good in general. Having it 25% is not OP, but considering it takes only 1 skill point, this skill would be very good, even if it would be only the bullet ricochet, but you will also get the Torgue Fiesta, which is one of these action skills that can really fuck yourself over. If you're like with a friend and you are pinned in and ducking behind a cover, and then you're like, yeah, let's go with action skill, and then you shit, then there are 10 grenades which will damage your friend. You can fuck your body pretty badly, but you can't take damage yourself, I'm quite sure. I hope. Because if you can, oh god, that would suck. But let's not forget, this is a brawling tree. You're probably brawling around the enemies, so you're going to shit all those grenades when you're near enemies, so that's nice. We can't forget that this is a kill skill, but since you're a brawler, again, you're probably going to be constantly killing something, and you deal all sorts of explosive novas around you, so I don't think that having this as a kill skill is so big problem as a kill skill would normally have. Start with a bang. When firing a fully loaded gun, after reloading you generate an explosive nova centered on you, damaging all nearby enemies and hurts you, but only a little bit. Explosive Nova rank 1 to 5 damage. Damage to self 1 to 5% of your current health. So this is also like, you make Novas. Yeah, it can be pretty good. We don't know about the damage, but if you have a gun that is going to be constantly reloading, you can drain your health down quite fast. But that is why you have the 35% health regen whenever you kill an enemy, or like up to 35%. But I think this can be also very, very valid skill to have, and maybe you don't need to put it to up to 5. Giving there only 1-2 points can be pretty good. Of course, it's the maximum output of damage will come if you put it to 5, but you don't have to put it that far, so to make it useful. And I think the load and explode is really good. Yeah, I guess if I end up putting the points in this tree, it'll be like 2 points in load and explode, 1 point I'm the rubber and you're glue, and 2 points with the start with a bang. And maybe later on adding some more points to them. Then we have a Hyperion Punch and a skill to be confirmed. We don't know yet, or at least I don't know yet. If you do know what it is and can link me where I can get this information, I would really much appreciate it. Otherwise we're going to have to wait until the launch of the game. So, Hyperion Punch. Melee override. Dealing explosive damage grants you stacks of Hyperion Punch. When you have 5 stacks melee to throw a super awesome punch that deals bonus incendiary damage, this consumes all stacks of Hyperion Punch. Hyperion Punch stack cap 5 to 25, rank 1 to 5. Again, since you are a brawler and you are probably going to be using explosive damage quite a lot, since you have all these Nova skills and either use that chance to deal explosive damage or have a torque weaponry. You're gonna want this. You're really gonna want this. And only giving 1 point to this will be beneficial. Giving it up to 5 will be probably quite amazing. The other skill's image looks like there's going to be one big shot in your magazine. Probably the first shot fired will do massive damage or so. Not a huge fan of those skills, but if it is a skill like that, you're going to be reloading a lot. So I guess it's a valid skill, but I'd more likely go with the Hyperion Punch because it's more reliable. And then we'll have at the capstone, living near the edge. Increases fire rate and reload speed. The lower your health and shields, the greater the bonus. Also unlocks action package Pirate Ship mode. Fire rate up to 100% and reload speed up to also 100%. Pirate Ship mode. Turn into awesome pirate ship with cannons. So, oh my god, this. If this would be only the pirate ship mode, it would be really good, and I'll explain you why. The pirate ship mode, which we saw in one footage of the gameplay, is that you can't control the cannons of themselves. You still use your main weapon that you have equipped, but you have these 4 cannons that you can't control. They will shoot where you aim, but there will be this ridiculous music going on in the background, and the cannons will fire, according to the music, and they will deal shit ton of damage. A shit ton. In the footage that I saw, he almost like one-shotted badasses with those cannonballs. And I can't remember how many times the cannons fired, but it was something like 25 times or so. And I can't remember the song, but it's one of these things that just escalates at the end. So it kind of fires slowly at the beginning, and then it starts to shoot so fucking much. Yeah, you wanna be turning into a pirate ship every time you push the action skill button. So that is really, really good action skill buff, or whatever it is that you wanna call it. And then we have the fire rate and reload speed bonus, which is absurd. And what I understand, you don't need to even lose any of your health to get at least some of the boost, because the skill says that the lower your health and shields are, so lower your shields, you will already start to gain some bonus. So since you're a brawler, you're pretty much going to have at least some sort of bonus constantly. So this is really, really good capstone in my opinion. The Wilhelm didn't have so many really amazing capstones, he had good capstones, but this is more like this niche level stuff that, they're like, holy shit, that's just stuff just starts to happen around you. And yeah, this is really good. I think this tree is very, very interesting and will work very well if playing solo, but will also work if playing with friends, since you're going to be the one taking the brunt, and leaving your friends free to, I don't know, snipe or backstab, whatever they do, but you can take the hits and you will return the damage very well, because this skill tree, it doesn't buff your health or shields basically at all. It doesn't buff your shields at all, or shield health. It just grants you some regeneration and the ricochet chance. But otherwise, you're just going to be constantly getting more health back and dealing these novas and explosions everywhere. This is one of these trees that you don't even fucking have to aim. You just explode. Everything just explodes, and somehow you're still alive. If you break it down, you just deal a shitload of explosive novas and shitload of explosive damage, and every now and then a incendiary fist. But when you die, you throw a free grenade and deal more explosive novas and stuff. Yeah. And you can turn into a pirate ship that almost one-shots badasses. Yeah, and I think that was even in True Vault Hunter mode that was being played at the time. So yeah, this tree is very, very powerful, and I can guarantee you this character will have hilarious dialogues, because all the characters have different kinds of dialogues. In the Borderlands 1 and 2, they were kind of very scripted and so forth. Of course, they are going to be in the pre-sequel scripted as well, but I think there was at some point someone said that, yeah, depending on what character you are playing, and if you have a co-op player and he has a certain character, it can vary what your character is going to say and think about this situation or the other character and stuff like that. The interaction will differ, which is really cool, and it adds this exploration and replayability to this game. Of course, the Borderlands have been one of those games that I have a lot replayed, but it kind of adds another level of satisfaction when you find some new stuff, some new dialogue options and stuff like that. So I guess this wraps up the Boomtrap skill tree. I will probably play this skill tree, at least I will try this skill tree, because there will be times that I'm going to play solo. Of course I prefer playing with buddies, but this skill tree just seems so fast-paced and versatile, and this is going to be probably very useful in this new setting about the moon environment, where all the gameplay footage have been like that you're constantly running around and jumping everywhere and using boosters and stuff, so I think this will work very well. Of course you can snipe in the pre-sequel, and yeah, in the Borderlands 2 it was also very fast-paced, but I think the pre-sequel will take the fast-paced action into a little bit new level. Don't know, but it would seem like so. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked, put a thumbs up, and I would like you to comment something on what you thought about this video. And I will be doing Twitch gameplay about the pre-sequel, and I will continue putting videos on YouTube as well as soon as the game launches. But I'm scheduling the 2 other skill tree videos to be coming in following days, maybe even tomorrow and the day after, but we'll see. I'm working my ass off to get these to you. I'm also working full time during weekends, and of course I'm just basically doing work from Monday to Sunday, and yeah, it kinda complicates things, but I get this out today. Hopefully I will get the second video out tomorrow, and I should get the third video up in today after. One more thing to announce. If you like this music, this is not my music, I haven't made this, I wish I would have, but this is one of my longtime friends' music, named The Shadowling, and you can find his channel on YouTube and on SoundCloud. Go check him out. He has a really large amount of soundtracks. I personally like a lot of his newest stuff, and yeah, he has a quite big variety of music that, if you like, go check it out. Put it playing on the background. It's totally free. You don't have to buy anything to listen to him online. If you want to buy his tracks, by all means, support him. And yeah, so enough of that. Thank you so much, and I hope I see you in the next video.
That's